Hi guys, welcome to Big Loz Official. We're one day away from travelling to Dubai for the World Ultimate Strongman Championships. Really looking forward to it.
Yes.
Getting your tan done later, so no makeup on right now.
No, sorry.
But as always, we're going to do our prediction video. We're going to go through the athletes, through the events, and Liz and myself will let you know who we think is going to end up on the podium.
Let battle commence.
All right, we're going to quickly run down through the athletes. First thing we need to say is obviously a couple of people have had to pull out.
Yes.
So due to kind of injuries and other issues, Thor and Lissis won't be competing. As far as I know, they will be attending the competition. So for those of you that want to meet them, they're going to be about for meet and greets to meet all the fans, etc.
This is definitely.
Yeah, I think Thor's going as well.
Okay.
I'm, you know, don't count on what I'm saying, but I am convinced that he's supposed to be going. So we'll go through the athletes. So we have...
You can say that one.
Ramin, Farnaz, who's the one guy out of the list that I haven't seen compete before. From what I've been told, he's an exceptionally good deadlifter. Okay. He won the kind of Middle Eastern qualifier to compete in this show. There's a lot of people saying, why isn't Payman coming? Obviously, this guy's from Iran as well. But this guy won the qualifier, so he's he did everything he needs to do. By all accounts, he's a very, very strong guy. I just don't have any background knowledge on him other than really kind of what a few people have told me. So it's going to be interesting to see how good he is. There's loads and loads of strong guys from the Middle East as it is. We've seen from the Olympic lifting background, wrestling, that kind of thing. They have some great athletes, and we're seeing more and more come into Strongman now. So I'm sure he's going to be great, but he's not going to feature in my top 5 just because
we don't know enough about him to.
But that's not to say he won't sneak in there. So the first big name on the list is Brian Shaw, who, let's be honest, for Brian has had a terrible year.
Yeah.
And I've sort of been backing Brian to sort of come out of it and prove that he's still one of the best. He's not done it yet. And I'm sort of, can I still keep backing him? There's been talk about the diet change and stuff like that. If I'm quite honest, I don't think the diet's had anything to do with his performances. I said this in my last video, that I don't think he's as hungry as he used to be. I think Brian, when he was at his absolute best, was an animal, probably, and still is, one of the greatest strongmen that's ever lived. And I think he's still got the talent there. I still think, if he turns up focused, he's going to be a dangerous man. Yeah. It just depends how much he's willing to kind of put into it, whether he's still as hungry as the kind of the up and coming guys. I talk to say kind of like Lissis, Skorsky, those kind of, they're not new guys, but they're hungry right now. They're the guys that are dominating the shows. And that used to be Brian, not even like, 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
Whereas now, just from my kind of visual perspective, it just doesn't seem like he's as hungry as he used to be. I think the talent's still there. I think if he switches it on, he can bring it. It's going to depend on what Brian turns up. But if Brian turns up that is focused, who's willing to fight for every point, and coming to win, you can never back against him. He's that good. He doesn't have a weakness. His deadlift is good. His pressing is decent. His moving is really good. The thing with Brian, he's so consistently good. You can throw any event at him, and he's always going to do well. Yeah. And I'd normally, for any comp, you're going to have Brian in your top 3. Yeah. But we're going to have to wait and see. For me with Brian, it's going to depend which Brian turns up. If he's focused, if he's hungry, and I think he's going to have to be. He's had a bad year for him. Yeah. He's not been on the podium in any of the big major shows. Yeah. And kind of the Brian I remember is hungry to win everything. Oh, yeah.
You would never not see Brian on a podium usually.
So we'll have to wait and see which Brian turns up. But I'm hoping he comes in shape, because it will make the competition interesting as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Seeing him turn up in top shape, that's what everyone wants to see. Obviously, 4 times world's strongest man, Arnold winner, etc., etc. Yeah. He's too good just to turn up and be
Make up the numbers.
Yeah. So next up, JF Karan, the most underrated strongman on the planet. We do, and I genuinely believe he could do really, really well in this show. Yeah, he came 4th last year. He's an incredible deadlifter. He moves well. His pressing's improved so much over the last few years. Yeah. His stones are good, so there's no real weakness for him in this show. And with so many athletes in it, a win on the deadlift or top 3 on the deadlift, that's a lot of points. I can't see him dropping a lot of points on many events. No. I think he's going to be up there, definitely.
Definitely. He's definitely in my top 5.
Cool.
Konstantin Janasha. We haven't seen Janasha for a
No,
while.
Janasha obviously injured himself at Worlds. Yes. I'm going to be interested to see what kind of shape he's in.
Was it a tricep or bicep?
I think it was tricep when he was doing the overhead medley.
That's right.
But I'm not sure actually. It could have been bicep or tricep. But he hasn't competed since then. It's not been that long really to come back into such a great show.
It was only June, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I'm, you know, in some shows I'd have him as a threat. I don't think he's going to be so dangerous in this show.
No, I think coming back from injury. And
just especially so soon.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be difficult for him to be back in top shape. He didn't do amazingly well last year in Dubai.
No, he didn't.
And
he 7th or something last year.
I think 8th, 7th, something like that.
Yeah.
He's still good, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
He's a great deadlifter. He's going to be definitely challenging points on that.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's probably a bit too soon for him straight after such an injury. But again, you never can tell. I mean, I said that Shiv wouldn't be any good in the...
Yeah, you said, why is he, you know, not sure he would turn up?
Europe's, yeah. And then he came
4th?
3rd or 4th, something like that. He's kind of Middle Eastern, kind of Eastern European, Russian.
Yeah, they're crazy.
They're crazy. But it'd be good to see him compete again. I like Konstantin. He's a good guy. Right, first of the Brits, Luke Stockman. He is looking very good this year. Didn't do that well in his last show. For him, it was probably his worst performance.
Manchester? Yeah,
that was probably his worst performance of the year so far. And he'd been travelling a lot, he'd been competing a lot.
Do you think either of the Stockmans did well in that show? I think
no, it wasn't their best show, but they've had such a busy year.
Yeah.
And that is hard. It's because we're sort of coming towards the end of the year. When you compete a lot, it does take it out of your body. I think Lissis found it last year.
Yeah.
Lissis did a lot of shows, got to Dubai, just underperformed for him. But Tom's been out there training, so I'm expecting Tom to be kind of hungry for it.
Had the
Luke's been away working. You know, he's got other commitments and stuff. We'll see. He's a great presser. He's brought his game up so much this year. I don't feel he'll be fighting for a top 5 position. No,
I'd be really happy for Luke if he did, but I'd be surprised as well.
Yeah, I think he'll go there and enjoy it, and he'll put in a mate. I think the log he'll really look forward to.
Yeah,
battling with the guy likes of like Christoph and those kind of guys on the log. He's going to enjoy that.
Yeah.
I just think as a whole package,
it's probably not the best competition.
I think as well for someone like Luke, he's going to start like having his eyes on. You know, he's never won the Brits. It's not that far away.
No.
He'll want to be in top shape for that.
Yeah,
I think the one thing you have to understand as an athlete, it's impossible to be at your best constantly all year long.
Yeah, of course.
You know, you've got to pick and choose your battle, especially as you get older. You know, you sort of get past 30, you've got to be a bit more selective. And I've learned that.
Starts falling apart.
Whereas when you're sort of early 20s, you just keep going. You're like a machine.
But that's a risk too, isn't it?
It is. But I think Luke will perform well, but I can't see him being in the top 5 of this show. So this man is definitely
Polish powerhouse.
Yeah. Matthias Skorsky, he's had an incredible year. Just posted a video of himself doing a 400 kilo deadlift, and it looked good.
Yeah.
And that's the event.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the event you kind of question whether he's going to be able to get enough points on.
Yeah.
And it will come down to that for him. He's so good at everything else.
He absolutely needs at least 400. And 400 could possibly only get you 1 point.
Yeah. And that's the thing. There's a lineup here of probably like 16 guys, and maybe 14 of them can deadlift over 400.
Yeah.
A good 10 of them can go over 420. And, you know, there's guys going to be going over 440, 460, maybe even higher than that.
Yeah.
So that is going to be the one event, especially with a competition with 5 events. I've said this before as well. You know, when there's 10 events, one event being a weakness isn't such a problem if you're that good at everything else. But with 5 events...
And with so many athletes, it's a lot of points to drop.
There's a lot of guys here that can deadlift big numbers. And that could be his only problem.
Yeah.
But... he's such an incredible athlete. He's so explosive, so dynamic, you know, so strong in just so many different areas.
Yeah.
I can't sort of bet against him anymore.
You did last time, and you ended up ruining the day.
Yeah, he's getting better and better and better. Yeah. And even like he's at a position now, his B game still gets him on the podium.
Yeah.
You know, in Manchester he won, and to be fair, he made a lot of mistakes. He was amazing on the car walk, but he still made a lot of mistakes on some of the events. Dumbbell, he made like a bit of an error. The deadlift, he definitely kind of got wrong.
Yeah. His
stones weren't perfect for him.
No.
You know, and he still won.
Still won it.
So if he brings his A game, you know, he's going to be
out.
No, definitely not. So he'll definitely be in the top 3 for me. Belsac. We haven't seen Belsac compete for a long time.
No, I
Belsac.
haven't seen him in person for a long time.
No, and he's a great strongman. I don't think the events are going to be the best for him.
No.
He's never been renowned as a huge deadlifter. He's a good log lifter. He's a good stone lifter, but there's none of it. Like, he's really, really good at things like dumbbell. He's really, really good at things like the cone and circle.
Yeah.
Those type of events. He's a guy that could beat anyone in the world at. And in this type of competition, you need to have events that you can beat anyone in the world at. And that's when you become dangerous. And I think he'll just be, you know, he'll score well. He'll be like another, I think a bit more like Luke, you know, mid-table area, fighting for that top half. Hopefully he's fit and healthy. Obviously he's coming back from an injury, but Belsac, I can't have him in the top 5 for me personally. The American monster, Robert Oberst, one of the best characters in Strongman. Unfortunately for Robert, he doesn't back it up with his performance. And that might sound harsh. He has events he's very good at.
You need to learn to form an opinion.
I know. I've got my platform. I can talk. Robert is a great character. He's a great presser, but I haven't seen him perform well in a competition. Not like he's not challenged a podium for a long time. And that's not being disrespectful to the guy.
No.
The deadlift, he'll drop a hell of a lot of points on.
Yeah.
He's probably the worst deadlifter in the competition. You know, the other events aren't that bad.
Log's not too bad for him.
Log is good. It's a good event for him, but I thought dumbbell would be good for him in Manchester as well. He didn't do that well on that.
Yeah. Truck pull?
He should be a good truck puller with his size.
There's just some really good truck pullers
there
as well.
You know, and again, like, I don't see Robert having like an event where he can definitely win.
No.
You know, there's guys like Christoph. In a minute we'll talk about Christoph. He's got an event he could have a good chance of winning.
Yeah.
You know, his shoulder power is ridiculous, and Robert's shoulder power is great, but I don't think it's on that kind of level.
No, not for reps. Or...
particularly.
Yeah.
But you know, I'd expect him to do well on the log. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, of course.
I just think there's too many weaknesses in there for him to place and fight for a top 5 position.
Yeah,
and that's just me being honest. It's not kind of, you know, putting
Can't
the
do
guy
a prediction
down.
if
No,
you're going to
you know,
say
it's just my opinion, and
Yeah.
it's, you know, he can certainly go there and prove me wrong.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen enough from him this year. I know he's had a few niggles with injuries as well, so it's difficult. You know, the standard's that high. You go into a slightly lower level comp, it's different. But this is, other than Thor and Lissis not competing, it's the absolute best guys in the world. Moving on, Krzysztof Radzikovski. We haven't seen him compete too much this year. Krzysztof is an incredibly powerful guy, and when he comes in shape, he's dangerous.
He is.
Shoulder power for days.
Yeah.
You know,
great at carrying and lots of things.
He's a
really
good deadlifter. He's very statically strong.
Yeah.
And his moving has improved over the years. He suffered a bit like myself with a lot of injuries and setbacks.
He competed far too much. He was doing the Strongman Champions League week in, week out, wasn't he?
Yeah, at one point he was doing way too much. I think he's doing a little bit less now. I saw a training video of him the other day doing a 170 log for 6 or 8 reps, something like that, making it look ridiculously easy. He is an incredible log lifter, like I said. He could definitely be in, it's 180 kilo log for reps, so that's the type of event him and Matthias Skorsky, I think, will be battling for first place.
That's going to be a great battle.
That will be a really good battle. They're both incredible. They're both Polish. They both want to prove that they're the best of the... Well, they want to prove they're the best.
Yeah,
the
best
pole,
lifter.
you know, on the log. So I'm looking forward to that battle.
Definitely.
And it'd be good to see him. He's a good character. He's a good person to have around. He's always funny, smiling.
He is funny.
So it's good to see him involved in this type of show.
Definitely.
The next man, the bodybuilder, Mr. Terry Hollins. Obviously back off his bodybuilding show, which was incredible. No matter what kind of people think of like bodybuilding or strongman, his transformation alone from where he was to where he got to is to be kind of commended and respected. That was incredible.
If you look at like 2015 Terry, you wouldn't recognise him, would you?
Just looks like a completely different man, and just seems like a lot happier these days as well. I think he's been training for a little while now in strongman, and I think I've seen some of his videos. He's looking a lot stronger than he was, say, in Manchester. I think it's still going to be too soon for him to, in terms of really challenging for a top place, but his truck pull is very, very good. Yeah. His deadlift's looking stronger again. He moves well with things like the yoke and the shield carries. He's a decent stone lifter. So there's events in there that he can be dangerous on. I just know he's got an eye on the Masters World Championships, the official strongman World Championships, which
he's doing. Kill himself
well, it's a week later.
Oh wow, really?
So I think he's probably going to hold back a little bit and focus on that, because he's got a legitimate good chance of winning the Masters title. But again, I think, you know, truck pulls, stones, the moving events,
Yeah.
you know, he's going to be there. I think the log he'll suffer on that, especially being such a heavy log for reps.
Yeah.
But one event, you know, he's not going to be challenging to win, but I think Terry will put in a solid performance. I think he'll be a lot better than he did last year, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so too.
He's looking in much better shape and just seeming injury-free and seeming good. Tom Stockman, the man whose account got hacked recently. Tom.
Let's not talk about
We won't
Instagram.
talk about that. But Tom has been out in Dubai training. He's at the WUS incubator, they call it.
Yeah.
Where they can, you know,
I thought he was in an actual incubator. I was like, what is this, like frozen therapy? I was like, wow. So he's in an incubator. He's like on oxygen.
I apologise for my wife, everyone.
Oh,
But
I'm
Tom,
a tired person.
Tom is looking really strong this year. I think it was only early this year he deadlifted 400 kilos for the first time. Now he's doing it for reps in training.
Yes, so he'll do it for a double.
Yeah, and comfortable as well. You know,
yeah.
look like he's got more in the tank.
Convincing double.
I think if Tom can pull a 440, I think suddenly he can become very competitive in this show.
Definitely.
Stones, that's his event.
Yeah.
You know, and a 10 stone
You
run.
would always expect him to win stones, so it's a huge advantage to have one where, yeah,
an event where you can go and win, and he's got that confidence that he can beat anyone in the world at stones.
Recently, almost every Giants Live competition has had a grip event like the Hercules Hold, and
Grip
Tom
events
has
hold him
come
back.
almost dead last.
And there's no grip in this show.
There's no grip event.
So it just shows like different events, it makes a huge difference, and there's no weak event for Tom in this show.
No, will he have had the opportunity to train on the equipment as well? And that's a huge advantage.
Yeah, definitely. He'll have been training on the kit.
Yeah.
He's been focused, he's been out there, he's acclimatised.
I expect this to be the best we've ever seen Tom. And I know he came 5th at Worlds, we're allowed to say, aren't we? He came 5th at Worlds this year, but
I reckon he's got a legitimate chance of top 5 in this.
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm going to probably put him in my top 5.
Yeah, he could definitely threat for the podium.
Yeah.
If he can put in a top class performance, which, you know, he's capable of, he could definitely be a threat. It'd be good to see as well, because obviously there's talk of Tom all the time as being kind of
and we've not seen it yet. I mean, he's
we've seen performances. I mean, he's doing his Brits performance was really good.
Yeah,
there's always just one event that, like at the Brits, it was the grip hole, the frame carry that let him down. Obviously, the Giants Live shows they've had the Hercules hold. That's not a strength for him. But now with no sort of weak event,
which we saw in Worlds as well.
Yeah, Worlds, he was brilliant in the final. So I think he's going to do very, very well. Yeah. Rauno Heinler, the awesome deadlifter from Estonia. Rauno's another really lovely guy.
Yeah.
Very, very powerful. Another guy that doesn't like grip events, actually. And no grip events for him, so he'll be very happy. He's a very good stone lifter. He's a very good log lifter. He's good at kind of shield carry type events. He's good at things like the deadlift. He's extremely good at. I actually still, at the World Deadlift Championships, he was the man that kind of impressed me the most. Yeah. He unfortunately twinged his hamstring on his 440, 450. I think it was 445. 440. No, 440.
Yeah.
He did it like a speed rep.
Yeah.
But
never seen anything.
Yeah, it moved up so quickly. I think if he's fit and healthy and there's no kind of tweaks or niggles, he could be very hard to beat on the deadlift. Definitely. I think him, Jerry Pritchett, and JF Karan are my sort of big 3 on the deadlift. And also Brian, if Brian comes in and shit. I think those are the 4 guys to look at that can really push the deadlift up really high.
Next, Iron
Bibby. He's been quiet this year.
You never know what to think about Iron Bibby and what's going to happen.
Some tournaments he turns up and he's brilliant.
Yeah.
And the next one he's kind of not really there.
I think there was so much hype, so much Bibby hype, and then people were like, why are you hyping him? Why are you doing this? He hasn't done anything yet. And, you know, I feel sorry for the guy because he's so lovely.
He's one of the nicest guys.
Yeah, and if they push him, then that's on the promoters. It's not on him. And that's
he's a good character as well. You know, he's memorable. He's an incredibly strong kind of guy, particularly in the shoulder power.
Yeah. His
pressing power is ridiculous, you know. I've seen him press 180 kilos without warming up.
Yeah. No,
that's
I
the
know.
kind of stupid stuff I used to do when I was young too.
Yeah.
But I wasn't 160. I'd be more like 120.
Yeah.
Or I deadlift and squat. Could do things like that, but not on pressing.
No.
But he is an incredibly strong guy and fast as well.
Yeah, I'd expect him to do really well on the yoke.
Last year he wasn't very good on the yoke and the things like that. But then I competed with him in Manchester a year before. He was amazing.
Yeah.
And then this year he's been good in Manchester
he was
on the
very
power
good. He was very close to your world record, wasn't he?
I think sometimes with him it's just, again, another one that depends which kind of
IMDb
turns up. But if he's focused, he can do well. The deadlift, I think, will hold him back. Yeah. Again, he's one of the weaker deadlifters. With so many good deadlifters, but
I think he could be really impressive on the log if he can bring it together.
He can be up there with Christoph and Skorsky.
Do you remember it was in Manchester, the dumbbell? There was like no technique there. It was just like Mong strength, just bringing it up.
So powerful. I think with a little bit of work on technique, he really could be incredible.
Amazing,
because he's sort of up there with the likes of Skorsky.
Yeah. Without the technique.
Without the technique, it's just muscle power.
It's crazy.
Sometimes, you know, fitness as well with him can be an issue.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that we've got one event the first day and then only 4 events, it should suit him.
Yeah.
But again, he could be a threat. I think the deadlift may hold him back to really challenge for the podium.
Yeah. How is he at pulling? Truck pull? I mean,
with his size, he should be good. I've not really seen him do that well.
Because it's more of an endurance event than
depends how heavy it is. And again, there's a lot of technique in truck pulling. So even when you've got big body weight and a lot of power, it doesn't always transition if you can't apply the technique.
Yeah, it's not just.
Whereas Skorsky's not the biggest guy. He's got incredible, performance on those type of events.
Seen him win it.
All right, next man that's had a lot of talk about this year,
Novikov,
and literally hasn't stopped competing. You know, he's almost competing every weekend. It's incredible. But he's young and he recovers.
Yeah.
I think he's going to do well.
Definitely in my top 5. I just don't think you can...
He's just had a great year. He's on fire. He's confident. He's still doing comps and making silly mistakes.
Yeah.
But if you can do as well as he is and still make the mistakes, then when he doesn't make those mistakes, he's going to be extremely dangerous. And I think he's got to be in the top 5.
Yeah.
You know, he's another one that's going to be...
How can you not?
Pushing for the podium, could potentially win it. You know, he's definitely good enough. And we'll just have to wait and see. I can't really see any weak events for him.
No.
His stones are probably the one event he hasn't done that well.
He made a lot of mistakes on stones
top level. And with 10 stones, it's easy to make mistakes. Because the first few aren't going to be that heavy.
No.
But they're going to be like...
That's where the mistakes
can often happen when you're trying to rush.
So fast.
But it's going to be the same for everyone.
Yeah.
You know, but I think someone like Tom, who's been out there training on them and stuff like that.
And just it's Tom's event anyway. So
Tom's got so much confidence on them.
Yeah,
Novikov has had a lot of bad performances on them. It kind of plays in your mind a little bit.
Yeah. Mustn't do this, mustn't do that.
Yeah. But again, he's going to be a dangerous man. He's very, very good at all the events.
Yeah.
And he's definitely going to be up there.
Look who's next.
Shahlaei, your favourite.
Mikhail Shahlaei.
I think you, other than me, you probably like him and Felix the most, don't you?
Yeah.
They're your favourites.
Yeah.
Why do you like them so much?
I don't know.
I like them too, so it is. You know, they're both very likeable people.
Genuinely nice guys and characters. I don't know. I just love them, and I want them to come here and stay with us.
I want to cook for
so
them.
I can feed them. Yeah, I do. I just want to look after them.
There you go, guys. You've had an invite from Liz to
an official invitation to.
But Shahlaei is. What can you say about him? He's incredible. He's just a warrior, determined, never gives up. Always has a smile on his face.
Yeah.
You see him behind the scenes, like we see him behind the scenes, and he's in agony. But he will come out and put a smile on his face and perform for the crowd. He's just one of those kind of guys.
Yeah.
Deserves respect. He's had a good year, you know. He did amazing at the Arnolds. This year's kind of... He tends to kind of dwindle down as the year goes on.
Then he surprised us at the European Arnold.
No,
so
I think,
knows?
You know,
I just don't know.
I can't predict where he will come.
No.
Because
Did he come 4th?
I can't remember now from the top. I need to check,
that.
but it was up. He was high.
He was
from someone I thought wouldn't be in the top 10.
Yeah.
And then he went and performed and did really well.
Yeah.
Final man, Jerry Pritchett, another very, very strong guy.
Yeah.
Had a good year. He is an incredible deadlifter again. I think he's going to be challenging for top spot on the deadlift. His pressing's good. His moving like yokes and stuff like that are really good. His stones are decent.
He's just a really solid guy. He's like another JF Karan, isn't he?
Yeah, underrated.
Yeah.
I'd say JF's a little bit better all round.
Yeah, I
would put JF in more shows.
Yeah.
But I'd say Jerry's a bit like myself, that with the right events, he's very dangerous.
Yeah.
And these are all good events for him. I think he can perform really, really well.
It's exciting, isn't it? There's so many evenly matched athletes this year.
It's going to be a great show.
It's not a standout. Like, I can't really... It's really hard.
Yeah.
Like, last time I thought, yeah, no, I'm going with...
So if we... I'm not even going to let us do a top 5, because it's so hard.
What?
So
are we just going to go
We're just going to go... No, we'll go for top 3.
No, that's even harder.
Go on then, tell us who your top 5
My
would
top
be.
5. My top 5 is Ecosphere.
Yep.
Novikov.
Yep.
Scroll down the list a bit more. No. Okay. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I really hope I don't jinx him. Shivlikov.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yep.
JF Karam.
Yep.
See, can I not include Brian in my top 5? Is that like sacrilege? Is that a terrible thing to do?
Depends which Brian turns up.
But I don't know. Do I have Brian or do I have Tom? Go to yours. Come back to me.
All right.
Who's your top 5?
I will have Skorsky as my winner.
You.
I think he's going to be hard to beat. And if he can perform in the deadlift, I think I wouldn't back against him.
No.
He's just dynamite this year. This is a really hard one to pick.
It is.
In terms of placings. So I'm just going to pick 5 people that I think will be in the top. I think Brian Shaw will be in the top 5.
Do you?
I think he's going to. Please, Brian. Prove me right. I've been backing you all year. Don't let me down again.
No.
So
you've got...
I've got Brian, Skorsky,
yeah.
JF Karan.
Yeah.
I think he's going to perform brilliantly in this show. And then I'm going to have Tom Stockman. I think Tom can get in on the podium.
You haven't said Novikov yet. Do you not think Novikov?
Yeah, he's hard to back against.
See, then you feel like, should I take Brian or Tom out? You know? Then you're where I am.
Jerry's good.
Jerry. Oh, God,
Brown
Jerry's
good.
my 5th.
I think Christoph can do well. Oh, man, this is a hard one to pick.
It's so hard. I bumped Tom for Jerry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tom.
Honestly, I'd love to see who you guys think will be, you know, top 5 and winning this. This is a real hard one to predict.
I'm going to pick Novikov as my winner, just because I don't want to pick the same person as you.
Okay. You're picking Novikov.
I'm going for it, yeah.
All right.
I'm going to be behind the scenes massaging him, banging him on the back before I send him out. Yeah, I'm picking Novikov.
Okay, cool.
You might be like, get off me, crazy woman. But that's fine too.
I think it's going to be a great show. You know, you can still get tickets available, I think.
Yeah,
we will put a link in below for the live stream, which I will be involved with.
You will.
Really looking forward to that. There's going to be a live stream for the deadlift the night before, which is a Thursday, is that right?
Yes, on the Thursday the 24th, and then the main competition is on the Friday. If you look at our last video about this, not the very last video, which we can link below. Yeah, you'll see all of the details there, and also the link for the live stream. So you do not have to watch it live. If you pay for it, then you can come back at any time and watch it, and it's really, really super duper cheap. It's
$1.99, I think.
Yeah, something silly. So
it's
yeah,
really cheap. Plus you get analysis from me, unfortunately not from Liz on this occasion, but I'm sure if she gets the predictions right, she'll be back to tell you how great she is. And,
I will.
You know. Do we want to address the comment that we had on the last video?
What was the comment? Which one?
That I'm definitely banging you.
Oh my God! Yeah.
She's not just some kind of random strongman expert.
No, I am his wife.
So we don't do that kind of stuff anyway.
No, he's not banging me. Yeah.
But, let us know who you guys think will win. We're going to go and pack.
Yes.
Looking forward to travelling tomorrow. You've got lots of filming to do.
Yes.
While we're out there.
Oh, we bought a new toy though, didn't we? What did we buy? What's it called? A gimbal.
So she's going to be
nice steady videos for you
hopefully
guys.
giving you good quality images and videos to watch.
Yes.
But right, let us know who you think is going to do well, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.